Hello, and welcome. I am Web Weaver, and I'm so glad you have found my channel here today. This is where I do a weekly tarot reading, pulling one card for each day of the week from a traditional tarot deck, just to give us a heads up as to what's coming our way this week, potentially. So, as always, these readings are for entertainment purposes only, and I am using the Steampunk Tarot deck by Barbara Moore, illustrated by Ali Fell. All right. So we will go ahead and bumped the table. Get started. This will be for the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. All right. And I do not read reversals, so that is why you see me flip these cards funny. Keep them all upright. Okay. So I hope you've had a restful week. I hope your week went all right. There weren't too many challenges. We did get good news today with the elections in Hungary. That's a plus anyway, a sign of hope in Europe. All right. What do we need to know for the week ahead? What messages do you have for us this week? What do we need to know for the week ahead? Messages do you have for us this week? What do we need to know for the week ahead? Messages do you have for us this week? What do we need to know for the week ahead? All right, I am going to stop there. And we will pull Monday's card, my birthday, the Empress. Make sure that's not too high. All right, excellent. Okay, so the Empress. The Empress is generally depicted as a pregnant woman in some form, and you can see that here in this card. She appears to be pregnant, but she's also, she's manifesting things in her hand. So if you look here, you can see she's got magic coming from her fingers. So the Empress is a motherly figure. In one of my other decks, she looks very Mother Earthy, sitting amongst green trees and flowers and very full of life. But she's also about abundance and nature, but it's bringing new ideas into existence. So it can mean fertility in the sense of human beings giving birth, that kind of thing. But it's oftentimes bringing ideas into existence, birthing creativity and ideas that you have. It could also be about protection of your house, your home, being that motherly figure. But this card is very much about abundance and creation and bringing things into the light of day, okay? Ideas that you have. So that is a lovely card for me on my birthday to start the day. The quote is, "Were you looking for a mother figure?" So that is the quote for that card. If you're not familiar, this deck, the book has a little quote for each of the cards in it. So I tend to read that when I pull these cards. Okay, if you're new to watching this. The Nine of Cups. So Cups is the water sign. Cups is psychic abilities, emotions. 9 being almost at the end of something. This is about wish fulfillment, hospitality, satisfaction. You know, you're looking at almost like you're at a bar and the bartender's like, "Come on in, welcome, I have your drinks all ready to go." So there's that hospitality, that community, the gracious host. But it is about wish fulfillment, satisfaction, gathering with people. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people there because there are lots of cups lined up. Material and emotional well-being could be part of it. Some decks, it could be like be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. But in this deck, it tends to be, the imagery does not imply that. So the quote for this card is, "Come in and welcome. Your every desire will be served with a warm smile. Order carefully." So far we've got birthing new ideas, bringing new ideas, creating new things. On Monday, on Tuesday, we've got hospitality, graciousness, wishes fulfilled, satisfaction. So we're starting the week off pretty well. Let's see what Wednesday has for us. Well, we have the Emperor. So we have the Empress in the first card, and that is a motherly figure. So now we have the Emperor, who is a fatherly figure. And this fatherly figure is about structure and authority, not so much authoritarian, but just that person who is the backbone of something. You know, you think of the terrible 1950s, you know, go ask your father kind of thing. It doesn't have to be a male figure, but it's someone who has that role as providing the structure, the authority, the regulation, very much a leader, a father figure type of person. Could also indicate like sovereignty, reason, responsibility, being a balanced person. But it is creating order and stability. So while this is more bringing ideas into the world, birthing these new ideas and creativities, the Emperor is about creating order and stability. So not a terrible card either. It's always good to have some stability and regulation there, right? All right, so Thursday we have the Eight of Wands. So the wands are fire. Let me find the quote for this while I'm talking to you. But the wands are fire. And this card indicates that something is now in motion that cannot be undone. You can see that we have a weapon of some sort here being steampunk. It's all steam powered. You can see the steam coming out of there. But the button has been pressed. The lever has been pulled. Whatever it is they need to do, these shots have been fired. And they can't be stopped until they hit their target or whatever it is that they are going to hit. So this is a quick action. It is going to bring about a quick conclusion. It is 8, so we're not quite at the 10s yet. 10 indicates a conclusion of some sort. 8s are close, but this 8 is going to bring a very quick conclusion. It could have to do with news coming that isn't going to stop until it hits the right people. It could be things in your life coming to a completion very quickly. Could be things in the bigger picture. Sometimes it can indicate travel, especially by air for business. So you may have that coming to you. And it could also be long distance communication, information coming from somewhere far away that is swiftly coming to meet you. But this is in some way, something has been done that cannot be undone until these things hit their target. So the quote for this card is, "Once you press the fire button, you can't unpress it." So, all right, on Friday, we have Judgment. So we are back into the major arcana. Judgment is card number 20, in case you're looking at the numerology, as some people do. And Judgment is very much, I mean, what it sounds like. It is judgment. It can mean rebirth or an inner calling, absolution of whatever wrongs you may feel you have done. But this is more internal. So it's not like people are judging you. This is more looking inward, judging yourself, making changes maybe that you need to make in your life in order to put yourself on the right trajectory. It could be more of a renewal or awakening, a deeper awakening or awareness. But it does have to do with reflection. So you may be reflecting on your past. It could be recent past, maybe something you did this week. It could be something that you did 10 years ago. But you may find yourself reflecting on things that you've done in your past in order to learn the lessons from it, to deal with the karma of it, just helping to move you forward based on what you've learned in the past. So this is judgment, but it's more internal, personal judgment as opposed to external, oh dear, somebody's judging me, right? So the quote for this card is, when the music beats to the rhythm of your heart and echoes the melody of your soul, you can only ignore it for so long. All right, so let's see what Saturday brings. We have the High Priestess. We are still in the Major Arcana. That's 4 Major Arcana so far. So this is turning out to be an interesting week. So the High Priestess, the High Priestess is about potential, mystery. I mean, you look at her and she's coming to my trailer while I, my caravan while I tell your fortune kind of thing. There is a mystery about her. But it's about an inner knowledge. So it's, instead of being outward action and outward manifestation like the High Priest who works with the elements and manifests things, this is more in non-action, not inaction, but non-action. So having an internal awareness, a potentiality, it's like an inner knowledge or an intuition. It does tie into lunar magic and lunar energy because the moon has that mystery about it. But it has to do with something that can only be understood through experience. There may be something on Saturday that either somebody else is dealing with that you can't understand, or you are dealing with that somebody else can't understand because they've not experienced it. Maybe you're just taking a day to turn inward. Maybe you meet somebody who's very much like the High Priestess. But that is what we have for Saturday. So the quote for that card is, she's completely batty, I tell you. Didn't say a word the whole time, just sat there smiling at me. All right, so then Sunday. Oof, we have the 9 of Wands. That's a rough one. All right, so 9 is almost to a completion. We have a lot of these things that are almost at completion. When we pulled the we have the 4 major arcana, but the 3 minors that we pulled are all very close to completion. So that is interesting to take note of. 10 cards tend to be the completion cards. So for this one, this is very much defensiveness. All right, so you can see this man standing here. He's got a bandage on his head, so he's already kind of beat up. He's got his torch in hand, right? His wand, along with the others that are in the picture there. But he's using a spyglass. He's keeping watch, right? He's taking a defensive role. It also has to do with perseverance. He is already banged up, beat up, but he's still pushing on. Stamina, courage. He's protecting himself and possibly others. He is trying to be alert to trouble, standing on guard, preparing for whatever it is that comes next, whatever it is he sees in that spyglass. He is preparing to deal with it. So something is coming, is what I'm getting from this card. And it kind of sucks that we're ending the week on this card, but something is coming and we are being told to be on guard for it, be prepared for that challenge that is coming, whether it's a personal challenge in your own life or whether it is a challenge in the bigger picture. We need to take some action. Take some defensive action. Be prepared for whatever the challenge is. When I lived in North Carolina and we'd get hurricane warnings, we made sure we had food stocked up. We made sure we had water stocked up. We made sure we were prepared for whatever comes. And we've continued that. Even though we've moved out of hurricane vicinity, we still keep, you know, non-perishables on hand. We've got water on hand. You know, we are preparing for anything that may come our way. And this card is very much like that. So the quote says, we'll have just enough time to batten down the hatches before the storm hits. So something is coming, and we are being instructed, I feel, by this card to just prepare for it. Be prepared for whatever may be coming down the bend next. And I feel like every morning is fudge, what's next, right? Like, what's coming today? What fresh hell have we awoken to this morning? I think we've got a little bit more time of that, but we are coming to a time of endings. We just aren't quite there yet, but it's coming. It is coming. The tide has shifted. I don't know if you felt it this past week. I know I did. Things are shifting. So we are coming to a time where we need to be prepared for whatever's going to happen, but just know that when we get on the other side, like, that's coming super close. Okay? All right. So that is the cards for the week. Not terrible, but it's nice to have that heads up. Forewarned is forearmed, right? Yeah, and I will see you guys next Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful week. And I hope this gives you some guidance for your week ahead. Blessed be.